Our love isn't absent problems, but it sure is absent drama. You deserve this kind of love. Unfiltered Heart Talks with the Dawkins.
So, in the case of a girlfriend or a fiance, do you think in that case the guy has grounds to say, no, my mom comes first, my mom sits in the seat? Or is it just a wife thing where when you are married legally, then the wife comes
That's when it
first?
comes in effect.
Yes.
Well, if I'm going with the biblical structure, I would say it comes in effect when she's made your wife.
Okay.
It's not to say that, and this is just my view, and based on the scriptures. If the Bible says you must leave and cleave and join to your own wife, it means that you must establish your own family. So that does not, it would not be enactment until that cleaving takes place. However, you must be able to demonstrate during the courting phase, not the dating phase, because the dating phase you're just getting to know somebody,
A bunch of people,
right? But in the courting phase, when you narrow down, it's still not set in stone. And in that courting phase, sex is not included either.
Absolutely. No binding, no cleaving.
No cleaving is established yet. So at the same time, I would say, based on my opinion, I would say that there should still be some level of demonstration to show if you really see this woman, intentionality. If you really see this woman as a woman that you want to really cleave to, to build that biblical foundation, family, then of course there should be some level of demonstration in showing her that, hey, when we do decide before God to seal this covenant,
seal this deal, yeah.
Yes, then I'm going to be here for you. You are going to become my number one priority.
Yes.
So I would say that there should still be some demonstration in that.
So you're absolutely right, babe. A lot of men have a real misconception of what cleaving actually is. So we find mom coming before the wife, cousins coming before
siblings,
the wife, siblings coming before the wife, everything, even children. Coming before the wife. So that's not supposed to be.
No.
Cleaving means your wife becomes your priority, like your number one priority, as you mentioned before.
Right.
And the resources that you have, your time, your money, your effort, goes into your family before it goes into anywhere else. You prioritize that your family. And even down to the emotional energy. It should support what you are building in your own household. And this is a big one. The decisions that you make should center around the needs and the unique issues and the desires and the wants of your own family. Not based on anything that mommy or daddy or your second cousin or anybody else has to say.
Yeah. What we need to understand is that every single human being was given the same command. Leave and cleave. Right? The fact that your mom is single does not automatically make you the son husband. And a lot of mothers have turned their sons into son husbands.
Yeah.
Where their son becomes the emotional and financial support for them. And mothers who do these things, and even daughters sometimes become the financial support of mothers,
Yes.
And it's just wrong on every level. It's wrong. It's not good parenting. You should allow your children to build and create their own family. That is their God-given responsibility, right? It is not for
and an
you
inalienable right.
Right. It is not for you to take that opportunity away from them. And young men who are growing up need to understand their biblical calling.
Yeah.
To leave and cleave, and not only to not to say that only to leave and cleave is your biblical calling, but that is a part of your calling.
Yes, and if
You
you
know.
have a mama that is not going to allow you, or she's just the type that wants you to be her son husband, you need to set up boundaries for her, because your relationship, every single one of your relationships will suffer as a result.
These kind of men who puts their mother and cousins and siblings before their wife, before their family, before their God-given responsibility, it tells you that this is a man who has not left emotionally. He has not left fully mature. And is also a man who's just not prepared to lead a household and still views his mother and siblings as his primary responsibility. So it exposes that deep issue, that deep fundamental issue that we expressed earlier, that this is a man who does not understand what marriage is. He's not ready. He's not there because he does not understand what it is. So women have to be careful when it comes to these men.
Absolutely. And you know what that reveals? A lot of people would think that, oh, wow, he's so loyal. That does not reveal loyalty. That is a huge red flag. It shows where priorities lie, and you're not one.
Yeah. And as we have said before, women need to understand that when a man tells you that his mother come first, he's telling you that, number one, you will never be prioritized. You will never be prioritized.
Yeah.
You will never come first.
Wow.
You will always have to compete.
Wow.
Right?
And that is so evil. Can you imagine having to compete with the mom?
All the time.
All the time?
It's a competition that you will never be able to win.
And you know the funny thing is, that's one thing I've experienced personally. Not the competition, but when we went, I'm going back a little bit, when we mentioned about the word, the desires, everything. Nobody outside of the home shouldn't be influencing the home, right?
No, that should not be happening.
I remember experiencing that. If we made a decision that we are going to live here, this is what we're gonna do, this is where we're gonna send our children to school, it was always revisited, revised, and changed. Even after everything was set in stone, that foundation had to be dug up because mama had to have the last word. So it's not healthy. It's not healthy, and that's not loyalty. That's a huge red flag.
Yeah, and again, the lack of need is going to be there, because that desire, that need you have to be prioritized, to be put first, it's never going to be fulfilled. So that over time will eventually break down the marriage.
Yeah.
And most women can attest to the fact that, they have found themselves in relationships like these and they are now divorced.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, and men need to understand that as long as you have that kind of dynamic in your marriage, you're not fulfilling your God-given responsibility.
Absolutely.
You are acting outside of the responsibility given to you by God. And once you're acting outside of that responsibility, then that's room for the devil to come in and play.
How are you going to prosper?
And program. So men who harbor this mindset need to understand that. And women also have a responsibility to know that men who have this mindset will never prioritize you. And so you are signing up for a temporary covenant. It's not going to last.
Wow.
Our love isn't absent problems, but it sure is absent drama. You deserve this kind of love. Unfiltered Heart Talks with the Dawkins.